Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and this is the card that I will be making today. I am using the Ultimate Coffee Cup die set to create this fun slider reveal card where you can pull out this insert. It will reveal a second sentiment and as well as a gift card holder. So I figure this is the season for dads and grads, so you might be in need of some gift card holders. So without further ado, let's make this card. Okay, I'm going to start off with just an A2 size card base out of craft cardstock. This is actually pretty thick stuff. I love this craft cardstock. It's actually from Michaels and it's a 110-pound cover weight. Super, super thick stuff, really great for card bases. And I think that's going to be important because we're going to create a little bit of an interactive component. I'm going to put a pocket on the front of this card with that insert so that you have a little bit of a reveal moment. And these papers I think are just gorgeous. I actually picked them up. I think it was during last year's Black Friday sale that Jamie had at the shop. And this came bundled with several, it was like a coffee bundle essentially. So of course I had to pick it up. But I'm really grateful to have any reason to bring this paper pad out to craft with because the colors are just gorgeous. I just really love them. Okay, so this is the main die that I'm using to cut out the coffee cup, and as well I am going to cut out the insert which is attached to the lid of the coffee cup. So I've got a partial die cut so that I'm going to use some pattern paper for the top of our lid, and as well I am going to use some pattern paper for the full insert. So the full insert is the lid portion of the coffee cup that's visible outside of the cup, and then there's actually like a panel that you can decorate, you can add a sentiment to, or like what I'll be doing today, I will be turning it into a gift card holder. So I've cut it once in full and then a second time partially so that I can just have a different design at the top where the actual lid is. So one of the things that I have found is that sometimes, now even though the die does put the score lines in for your glue tabs on the main cup, sometimes you might still want to reinforce those score lines just so that they're a little bit deeper, and that way you have a more crisp fold when you go to fold it. Since I want to create a little bit of a reveal moment, I'm going to use the smaller coffee cup, I've been calling it a pup cup, to cut out an aperture window through this main cup die cut. And that's going to just create an opening that I can back with some acetate so that we have a clear window. Now this is how you would create a shaker card if that's what you wanted to do. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just using this so that we have a little bit of a peekaboo window, and that way when the coffee cup lid insert is in the cup, you see one thing, and then you can pull the lid out and it will reveal a second sentiment. So I thought that would be fun, especially with this card, because I'm using some of the more humorous sentiments from the Ultimate Sentiments Thanks stamp set, which also recently released, and that has a coordinating die set to go along with it. But as with all of my Ultimate Sentiments, half of the sentiments are your more like they're your more traditional, more heartfelt sentiments. But then the other half are kind of like the ones that I tend to lean towards because they're more snarky. They're a little bit more on the humorous side. And so sometimes, you might find, just depending on who you're giving a card to, one might suit a little bit better than the other. Now, I want to also, as I mentioned, I want this to be a little bit of a reveal moment. So I'm going to cut yet another pattern paper to the size of my cup. Now, with this, I just trimmed it. You could use the die if you wanted it to be exact, but it doesn't have to be exact because you're not going to really see it at all. It's all of this is going onto the front of a card. So that back portion, it really doesn't need to be exact at all. Now, with the lid and the insert, I did cut it out in full from one pattern paper. And I cut it out partially from a second pattern paper. And now I'm going to bring even more pattern paper to the party because I actually want this insert to be double-sided. I'm going to have like a triple reveal moment on this card, which I just think it just cracks me up every time I look at it. Because initially what you'll see before you interact with the card is thanks so much. And that's straight out of the Ultimate Thanks stamp set. But then you'll pull this out, and the sentiment that gets revealed is, were you expecting a parade? Which is part of that snarky fun sentiment that you can get from the Ultimate Thanks. And when you flip the insert to the back is when you'll actually see the gift card. So lots of fun twists and turns with this card. I feel like it's going to take the card recipient on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. So for that gift card aspect of the insert, I am going to cut the coffee cup lid insert die and at the same time position the die that will cut out the gift card slots so that this can now become a gift card holder. Now, I intentionally designed this set so that that gift card slot die is separate so that you don't always have to be turning this, coffee cup insert into a gift card holder. And more importantly, you can turn anything else you want into a gift card holder because that die set is so universally useful. So I've got some additional pattern papers here so that the lid of my coffee cup can have a different pattern to it. And the body of the insert can have a different pattern as well. So I've just sort of, mix and match them a little bit. And if you're going to double up your insert, make sure, I like to put a gift card in there. It's the black portions that you see there, those little partial circles. Make sure when you're gluing things down that you don't glue anywhere near where your gift card holder needs to slide through. That's why it can be nice to put a gift card in there before you glue. And then this is just that leftover portion that I cut off of one of the inserts, and so I'm just going to put that on the back so that we just have something that looks like this is going to be pretty thick. At this point, it's essentially 2 layers of pattern paper, plus it's going to hold our gift card. And with the pocket formed, I'm just going to glue this whole thing, but only applying glue to the main coffee cup, not the lid, because we want that to slide out. I'm going to glue all of that to an A2 card. And so this way you can still write, a fun little message on the inside. Now, one of the things that I realized with this is you do have to be a little bit careful because the little half circle gift card slots, they actually present a catch point with the coffee cup. Now, I thought there was maybe a little bit of glue that oozed out, but that wasn't the case. What was catching was the back of my insert. It was actually catching on the main coffee cup. So just beware of that. I think, it wasn't until I I put this in backwards that I realized, oh, it's those gift slots that's that's giving me trouble. So if you put the gift card on the back like I'm doing, they can catch a little bit. But it's okay. You just need to like kind of push the card base on the left and right so that the main coffee cup, it kind of bows a little bit forward to give you a little bit more space, and then that'll allow you to kind of slide the insert in without it catching on anything. So it's not a huge deal, and once somebody interacts with the card and pulls it out, they may not even really put it back in. So so that's something that I don't think is a big problem to solve. But if you're worried, you can always put the gift card slot in the inside of the card. Maybe just cut it into another panel and glue that onto the inside of the card instead of the back of the coffee cup insert. But I kind of like the reveal of having it on the back of the insert, so that's why I put it there. So what I'm going to do is stamp the thanks so much. That's the large sentiment that's in the Ultimate Thanks stamp set. And at this point, I'm definitely using a stamp positioning tool because I'm pretty late in the game on my card here, and I really don't want to mess anything up. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but that's why I'm putting this so close to the top of the coffee cup, because the coffee cup is more narrow at the bottom, so at the top, that's where more of this insert will be visible when it's inside the cup. So you can see like our little aperture window, it gets more narrow at the bottom. So even though this insert is squared at the bottom, it doesn't narrow, you won't see all of that towards the bottom. So that's why I'm stamping this a little bit closer to the top, and that gives it more of a chance to be visible through the aperture before you pull it out. So that's one of the things where maybe planning your card a little bit in advance would be good. I mean, this happened to work out okay for me, but I would definitely make sure that maybe before you put the acetate behind that window, you can always, while that opening is still open, you can kind of use that to trace out, what you might be stamping onto, and that way you can position anything that you want to stamp, anything that you want to glue down to it. You'll know what's going to be visible and what's not. And talking about planning things, if you want to reveal a second sentiment, I would glue that down way earlier than what I'm doing now. I just got a kick out of adding the were you expecting a parade sentiment. And so I if I had thought about it earlier, I would have added that much earlier before I glued everything together. But I made it work. But I will also mention, because that's a die cut, it does add another potential little catch point. So this card is really lovely, but loading it for that very first time, it could be a little bit tricky because there are so many potential catch points with the gift card slot on the back. But as you just saw, I was able to slide that in pretty smoothly. So it just takes, maybe giving your pocket enough room to comfortably slide in and out. And otherwise, once it's in there, I don't think somebody's going to be pulling it in and out all that often. So I just have had a lot of fun creating this card. I think it's really funny and kind of cute, and I hope you do too. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you craft with the Ultimate Coffee Cup die set, I hope you'll share it on the socials and tag me at Handcrafted so I can check out what you've made. Thanks so much for checking out my video, and a big thank you to all of my channel members for supporting me. I really appreciate you, and I can't do nearly all the things that I've been able to do without your support, so I'm very grateful. Thank you again, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.